You got something about your Vivek Ramaswamy?
So the video we did on Vivek, when we was talking about him, a lot of comments came back. People love Vivek. Said we stupid. We don't know what we talking about. He's the best thing since sliced bread.
Why do people come in and say you're stupid that you don't know you're talking about? What are you looking at it for? Turn it off.
Exactly.
Because I'm ready to say your mama is
And
stupid.
you think everybody in the world is stupid if they don't like Kimakami? No, not everybody's stupid that don't like him.
I don't care if they call me
But anyway,
stupid, I still don't care for him.
He has 10 points that he calls the 10 truths. Real quick, I'll go through them. I like this guy's article. His name is Jonathan Wexler. And on the Medium, and he said he used to love Vivek. He was in love with him like everybody else was.
Really?
And he used to listen to his what you got burning, Ma?
Her car.
He used to put him up on a pedestal like everybody else is doing.
He's changed.
And he loved his 10 things that he said. But then he went back and looked at all of those 10 things and he questioned them. Number 1, his 10 truths. He said, God is real. Number 1. The man said, and then this guy's reply, religious belief is diverse and we should live and let live. So when you say God is real, what does that mean? Because you're not Christian, Vivek. Your God is real?
Yeah.
Or are you talking about Jesus is real?
No, his God.
He's not talking about Jesus.
No.
When he says God is real,
his God.
All these people that's Republican, that like him, that are Christian, he's not talking about Jesus.
He's not talking about the God of Abraham, Isaac.
Yeah, so y'all need to quit with that he's God is real stuff that he says.
Okay.
Number 2, when he says there are 2 genders. This guy says gender can be equally complicated and once again, live and let live. Now, I disagree with that. I do believe that there are only 2 genders, but I do agree with this guy that it's complicated.
Yeah.
Because if you call somebody, if you walk up and call, I don't know, Laverne Cox, a man, Laverne Cox will look at you like you stupid. I live my life as a woman.
Yeah.
So it's not that cut and dry. Underneath all of that, I agree. You was born either a man or you're born either a woman.
Man's body parts.
He says human flourishing requests fossil fuels. He says for humans to flourish in the future on the planet Earth, we must rapidly move away from fossil. In other words, he thinks you got to have oil and everything in order to survive. You got to move away from that because it's going to come a point to where you got to start using the sun's natural energy and other things to pull your energy.
Right.
You can only drill for so long. And that's what Trump is like, drill, baby, drill.
Yeah, we're drilling the heck out of this earth.
Right. This is why I call him Kimasami. Racism, reverse racism is racism. Remember, he don't believe in white supremacy. This guy said race.
Unicorns. He believes in unicorns.
Yes. His guy says racism is real and must be fought against on every form. This Vivek thinks that it's all in our heads about racist white supremacy and all this. He's a nut job.
There's racism even against his nationality.
Right. He says an open border is no border. The guy says, okay, borders are important, but so are other countries' borders as well. So I agree you should strengthen the border, but to say an open border, which means what? Don't let nobody come in? They got to come in the right way. That's how I look at it.
Okay.
And then he just says, parents determine the education of their children. He says education is a human right. That has nothing to do with the parents. What if you got 2 ding-dong parents that live at home? That child still has to go to school.
Should.
That's a human right
to
have education.
For your child.
It's not the parents to decide whether that child has an education or not.
I think that's become the problem even in a lot of the politics is that they're relying on the parents to step up and do what they need to do. And a lot of parents are failing at that. So it's unfortunate that you're trusting a parent that the kid may not even have decent parents.
And he says nuclear family is the backbone of everything. I agree that the family is, but my family may not look like your family.
Thank you.
I might have been raised by my grandmother.
Exactly.
Or my extended family, my uncles and my aunts helped raise me.
Thank you.
He still has his mother, father, child in his mind.
In his mind. And he's young. How old is
He's a moron.
How old is he? 30s?
I don't know how old he is.
And they got on him on the debate about him not voting. Those years that went by where he didn't even vote. That's very important when you don't vote and you're running. You're running for the top position in the country, and you got to let us understand why you wasn't voting.
Right. He says there's only 3 branches of government, not 4. He's a moron. It's 4 branches of government. All of them it's supposed to be checks and balances against each other. But we'll see how that ends.
One thing, Ben Carson, I was listening to one of Ben Carson's lectures to some students at some college, and he had to actually admit, he told all the students in that audience, make sure you learn political science.
Thank you.
How our government runs, because he
doesn't understand how it runs.
Ben didn't know. He know how to do heart surgery,
and he want to be the president of the United States. And then he says the U.S. Constitution is the strongest guarantee of freedom, but yet you support Trump, who basically don't care about the Constitution.
Washing it away. So are you? Which side are you on, dude?
So I just thought I'd bring
Trump's
that
side. He wants to get rid of the Constitution and anything else that talks about rules and regulations.
Thank you. All right, so that's in with him. Let me do a video real quick.